Yo, what up guys, it's your boy Legendary, and today people I'm going to be giving my impressions on Yu-Gi-Oh! 7s. The first episode just came out yesterday. Well, you guys are watching this probably on Monday, so the first episode came out on Saturday or Friday night, whatever, and I watched it, and here are my thoughts. This was very interesting. I'm just gonna say it flat out. I really loved this episode. I really loved it. I thought this was fantastic. Everything about it was great. I loved the personality each character brought. Everyone had so much personality. They were all interesting. It all just felt fun and vibrant and alive, which is what I was craving. I was craving for a show that felt more alive, where the characters felt more alive and the interactions felt either more fun or natural, or just different than, obviously we just came from Brains, and that show was a lot more serious and dull and always plot heavy, and there's not a lot of time for, or at least the writers didn't create enough time for the characters just to interact. There wasn't any moment to like breathe and just relax and just enjoy some fun time with the characters, getting to know each other and stuff like that. There was no time for that, and that was severely lacking, which is why my impressions on Brains was so lacking. What was so negative, because it was so hard to just have fun, to just enjoy myself and to enjoy the characters. That's why, even though a lot of the characters were written well in Brains, even though they were written well, they had good backstories and stuff for the most part, I couldn't enjoy them. None of them were my favorite, other than like Revolver and Go in the early stages and stuff like that. I couldn't enjoy any of the characters because there was nothing to enjoy. They never hung out. There was hardly any interactions between them, other than, when the plot brought them together, and that's it. It was just such a drag to get through, because there was no fun. I couldn't enjoy any of the characters. That's why, even like I said, even though they were written well, none of them stood out to me, because there was no real personality to any of them, other than they're all sad and depressed for one reason or another, and that got old really quickly. That got old super quickly. I'm like, alright, great, I get it, this is supposed to be a darker show, but there needs to be some life into this. Otherwise, it's just going to be hard for me to stay interested. Every Yu-Gi-Oh series has dark elements and happy elements, like, interactions and goofy moments and slice of life moments and stuff like that. Every Yu-Gi-Oh has that, but they kind of ripped that away from Brains. But this show, Yu-Gi-Oh 7s, is really good. It literally is the direct polar opposite of Yu-Gi-Oh! Reigns. It has all the extra personality, all the character interactions, it's just so much fun. It's just so interesting to watch. Everyone just stands out to me. Everyone has their own unique personality. I know I'm repeating myself, but the personality in this show was amazing. The music was great too. The animation, the art and animation wasn't that bad. Obviously, it's nowhere comparable to what we're used to. But hey, it's been 6 months. I got used to it a long time ago. It is what it is. As long as they give us a good story, good characters, awesome duels and new cards, then I'm on board. I can't really complain about any of that. Yeah, it was so much fun. It really brought new life to Yu-Gi-Oh again. Like, I've been craving that for like, what, 2 years, however long Reigns lasted, just that life again. And I feel like this has so much life, and there's so much potential in this storyline and everything. And yeah, it's just incredible. So, just to do a quick rundown of the story, basically Yuga is trying to hack into his duel disk to try to install these new duel rules. He doesn't like the way duels are now. He feels they're very strict and stuff, and it's just probably too complicated and stuff, which is very relatable, because Yu-Gi-Oh! Is a very complicated game for new young kids to get into, because it's just, there's too much going on. So I guess he wants to to hack his duel disk to install this new way of dueling and kind of start his own new path of dueling, which is called rush duels. But apparently the duel disk has a system that if you try to hack it more than 6 times, your account gets removed, deleted, and you can't duel anymore. So he already has 5 penalties. He got his 5th one, and if he gets one more, he's done. So we go back to school, and Yuga is talking about these new rules that he wants to implement, and then Luke overhears it, and he goes up to him, he approaches him, he talks to him and says, I know a place where you could install your new rules. So then we skip later on to the night where they're walking through the night, and and Luke is telling Yugi about this legend of this place where you can go to where you can become your own dual king or whatever and start a new path or whatever. So Luke takes him down to this secret lair or whatever it's called, and where you could duel the hologram man, which is supposed to be a representation of Seto Kaiba because he has blue eyes and all that stuff. So when they go up there, Luke reveals that he's already tried to become the dual king, and he actually did win against the hologram man, but then the time ran out and nothing happened. So then he remembered that in the legend it said open a new path, and that reminded him of what Yuga said, where he said he wants to start a new way of dueling and this and that. So then Yuga's like, oh, okay, so wait, you're talking about new rules. Basically what he's doing, he's trying to install new rules, a new way of dueling. So it seems like Yuga is the one that's kind of the one that's chosen to do this, because it's not really about winning, it's about starting a new path, starting a new way of dueling, and that's exactly what Yuga has. So he tries to install his thing in there. Yeah, he tries to install his new rules in there, and he did it successfully. He starts to duel Hologram Man, and the duel just changes, it forms into a 7. So it's kind of similar to speed duels where it's three back row, 3 monster zones, and 4. You start with 4 cards, so it's the same as speed duels in that sense. But the rules of speed duels are completely different, where you could summon any number of level 4 or lower monsters from your hand. Just summon them on the field straight out. You don't have to I don't know if it's considered a normal summon or a special summon, but the point is you could summon them all at once. There's no restriction. You summon them all, and so he does that. He summons 3 of his monsters, then he sets 1 back row. Then Hologram Man Kaiba goes. He catches on to the rules really quickly. He summons 2 of his monsters from his hand, and then he tributes off those 2 monsters right away to summon the legendary Blue Eyes White Dragon from his hand. So that's the nostalgia background. We already knew Blue Eyes was coming. That was in the promotion and all the stuff. So we already knew that. But so basically, you can normal summon as many times as you want per turn. You could summon all your monsters all at once, and but if you want to summon a level 5 or higher monster, you still have to tribute for it like normal, but there's no limit to the amount of times you can summon per turn. So that's pretty much the gist of it. And so Hologram Man summons Blue Eyes White Dragon. He activates a spell card, which is kind of like Burst Stream of Destruction, but better because it still allows you to attack. So he activates that spell card, destroys all of Yuga's monsters, and then attacks directly, and Yuga's now at 1,000 life points. Once Yuga's knocked down by Blue Eyes White Dragon, he has 1,000 life points left. He has no cards left in his hand, and then he gets back up and he reveals this, and then he draws 5 new cards from his deck. So basically, one of the new rules in Rush Duels also is that when you have at the start of your turn, if you have less than 5 cards, you get to draw until you have 5 cards. So he had 0 cards, so he drew 5 brand new cards from his deck. So, and I read up the rules just now just to make sure, and it's not when you have 0 cards that you get to draw until you have 5. It's at the start of your turn whenever you can draw until you have 5, so you could just, every turn you could restock your hand, which is pretty cool. So it's a new rule. It makes the duels go a lot faster. I'm a little concerned about that, but other than that, I think it's a cool rule. So he draws his 5 cards. He does this whole combo. He summons his ace monster, 7 Road Magician. Once he does that, he powers him up with a spell card and then another spell card, and then he sends his monsters to the graveyard. He tributed 2 of them to summon his ace, so he has 2 monsters in the graveyard, plus the other monsters that were destroyed by Blue Eyes, and then he activates, I think, the effect of 7's Road Magician or some spell card where if you gain 300 attack for every monster in your graveyard with a different attribute. So he activated one of the card effects, I forgot which one it was, where he could send the top card of his deck to the graveyard. So he was hoping, so he has a water, fire, wind, earth, and dark monster already in the graveyard, so he needs the light one. So he draws the card, and of course he's the main character, so he discards the light monster, and there you go. Now he has all of that, and his 7th Road Magician went all the way up to 7,000 attack points. This is just the first episode, and he already went up to already went up to it. 7,000. So he goes and he attacks his Blue Eyes White Dragon. That's exactly 4,000 damage. He one-shots him and he wins. Right after he does that, the hologram man basically says, congratulations, you are the new Duel King or whatever. And then, so basically those new rules that Yuga made are now installed into everyone's duel disc all around Goha City. So everyone's duel disc turns into a 7, and now those new rules are installed. So now everybody can test out rush duels. And I think that was pretty much it with the episode. So yeah, it was very interesting. I really loved the way that they introduced rush duels. I like how Yuga was the one who invented these rules, and it's very interesting that there's this hidden legend, this hidden layer where you could go to where you could duel this thing and open your new path. It opens up a lot of questions like, okay, who set this up? And why did they set this up? Because it's kind of weird that, Goha City seems to be like a strict place, governed by whoever the heads are, and, and this and that. And obviously you're not allowed to hack your duel disc and start new rules or start your own thing. So it's very, you got to follow the rules, I guess. So I'm wondering who set that up and why. So it's very interesting. There's a lot of mystery involved in this, but it's kind of cool that Yuga is the one who made these rules, and by winning that duel and knocking Kaiba out, sorry, not knocking Kaiba, Hologram Man out, same thing, he was able to install these new rules, and then it spread to everyone. So yeah, I just love the way they introduced everything. It was really good. It felt very natural. The episode was moving really fast, but there was just a lot of energy, and they wanted to get everything out, and it was just a lot of fun, to be honest. But that was the duel, and that's pretty much the story right there. I didn't speak too much about the other characters. Gakuto was really funny, cool. He's kind of like, he likes to follow the rules, and he gets very anxious when anyone tries to break the rules, but he's really silly and stuff. But he ended up helping them out in the end, to help Yuga charge up his duel disc so that he could duel, which was cool. So he was still very nice about it. And then who else? Roman was also there. So she was kind of an interesting character because she was just kind of in the background, kind of watching for a while, and then she showed up near the end in that layer, and she was kind of talking. And so there's still a lot of mystery around her. We don't know a lot. We just know that she plays the guitar, she's in a band, and that she doesn't like to duel, or she's not interested. And she seems like she doesn't know a lot about dueling, supposedly, because she's always asking like very obvious questions like, wait, you can summon that? Or, oh, you can do that? Like, she's all confused and stuff because she doesn't know how to duel. She might actually know how to duel, though. She could be lying. She does have a deck that is she does have an ace monster in the deck, so that's in the intro, so she's gonna duel eventually, so that'll be interesting to see what her role is and what she's gonna do. But other than that, I think that's pretty much it. Yeah, just the main cast. Yuga was a really good main character. He's funny, he's kind of very chill and relaxed, but also really fun and interesting, and he's also smart because he's able to kind of hack a duel disc, and so he's kind of like a mix of different protagonists. Like he has the fun-loving personality of a Yuma or a Yuya, but is also kind of like a Yusei, where he's able to like hack stuff, and he is smart. So it's kind of interesting. And he created his own new rules. Rush Duels looks really fun. It's really interesting. I really want to try it out. Honestly, this first episode was truly just amazing to me. Like, the more I watched it raw first, and I enjoyed it so much, and then I watched it subbed, and I enjoyed it more once I got all the context. And the more I think about the show, the more I love it, and everyone else seems to be enjoying it. I've asked I asked Robbie to watch it, and he really loved it too. He really enjoyed it, and now he's really hyped up for this new show. And we're already picking which characters we want to be in the show, which decks we want to build and stuff. So yeah, we're really excited. Yu-Gi-Oh! 7's episode 1, my impressions, I loved it. It was great. I love the personality, love the interactions, I love the story, I love how everything was introduced, and I am looking forward to next week. I'm really hyped for it. I really want to see more. Yu-Gi-Oh! 7's is really good. I'm really loving it so far. I'm so excited just to have that life and energy back. Like, I haven't been this excited about Yu-Gi-Oh! In a long time. There were moments in Vrains where I was excited, like during some really sick duels and stuff like that, some really epic moments, but I was never fully excited about anything, because the show never made you excited about anything. It was just like, it's depressing all the time, Vrains. But and that's the vibe they wanted to give off for whatever reason, and they succeeded. But that kind of was a hindrance to some people, and especially me. But other than that, Yu-Gi-Oh! Sevens, you get an A for me. I really enjoyed it, and I'm really excited to see more. And it looks like it's going to be an interesting story. And I'm just looking forward to it. So let me know in the comment section below what you guys think about Yu-Gi-Oh! Sevens. Did you enjoy anything? What did you enjoy about it? Did you not enjoy it, and why? Yeah, so just let me know, guys. Also, I'm not sure if I'm going to be doing consistent reviews with this show. I really love it, and I would love to do it. I just don't know if I'm capable of keeping up to date with it every single week. So as of right now, don't expect a review for like the next episode. I don't know, maybe I'll get really hyped and excited and then I'll want to do it. I'm not sure just yet. I have a lot on my plate right now. I'm really trying to be consistent with the channel and trying to upload every single day. Well, not every single day, but at least 3 times a week if possible. And then on top of that, I have my other channel that I'm trying to start up. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I'm going to be doing reviews. That's why this is not called Yu-Gi-Oh! 7's Episode 1 review. It's really just called Yu-Gi-Oh! 7's Impressions, so you guys could get my impressions on what I thought. It pretty much was a review, because I did it the same way that I review things, so I can't help but talk about what I saw and everything that I liked and stuff. But yeah, so this won't be a consistent thing, or maybe it will. I'm not sure just yet. As of right now, don't expect like every week that I'll have a review out or anything. That's why this is just called Impressions for now. Maybe in the future, if I find a way to make it work and I do have the time and I'm that passionate about it and I really want to do it, then I'll do reviews. But keeping reviews every week can be kind of draining sometimes. And you know, with all my other content that I have to do, it gets difficult. So I hope you guys understand. But maybe it will come someday, because I really do enjoy this new series and I do want to talk about it. But yeah, we'll see where it goes. God bless you guys. See you guys in the next video. Gotcha!